So one of my supporters left a comment on my previous video stating that Holness is the pirate of the Caribbean, and I must say, I agree 100%. This man barefaced on a different level. It's like the man have no shame. The man don't even have respect for himself. Yo, the man take everybody for fool. Imagine the leader of our country wants the law that was put in place to investigate illicit enrichment to be declared unconstitutional. Like, it don't make no sense. Corruption at its finest. These are the same laws that was implemented by the government. You know what hurt me? The fact that some people want them things here for just slide. I see some silly people, yeah, I turn a blind eye to the foolishness. Like them a benefit from the millions of politicians that thief left, right, and center. The man around the country like a family business, and I want to take it for joke.
Jamaicans, I'm going to share a video and I want you to listen it and tell me if it gives you any comfort to give this government a third term. Listen to what this Jamaica Labour Party lady has to say about the Jamaica Labour Party government. And when I finish, we'll come back. Listen this.
The problems in government have not yet caught up because we're still struggling to deliver the services to you in a timely way and at the required standard. And that is why the work must continue under the Labour Party administration.
Jamaica, you hear what Malawi for just a while ago? That the problems in the Jamaica Labour Party government has not caught up, and that they are struggling to provide the services for the Jamaican people, as well as the quality of what they are giving us is not up to standard. And in her speech, she said that's why we must continue with the Jamaica Labour Party. That is bull crap. If you hire somebody and they are performing and struggling to perform and giving you subpar quality, would you continue to employ them? Why should we give this government a third term after 9 years, almost a decade in government? The government is still struggling. The government is giving us subpar quality. That's not what I said. It's what the Jamaica Labour Party Minister of Government said about this government. And yet they're asking for a third term, Jamaican people. It's time for us to fire this government because they're incompetent. They don't provide the services and quality. And I hear the Prime Minister talk about track record. Prime Minister, what is your track record? Tell me one school that you have built. Tell me one institution that you have established as Prime Minister. What is your legacy? Jamaicans, we are tired of the Jamaica Labour Party. This is what they did with the FID. They reduced the quality. They reduced the qualification to give somebody who is pro the government. Somebody who is to investigate the financial crimes of the Prime Minister. Jamaicans, we have a choice to make, and that choice is coming up very shortly. We need to get rid of this incompetent Jamaica Labour Party government. And me say so. Check Malawi for it. She said it.
We're still struggling to deliver the services to you in a timely way and at the required standard.
A very good afternoon, good evening from wherever you're watching us from. Today I want us to dive into something serious, and these are allegations swirling around the Jamaican government, specifically targeting the Jamaica Labour Party or JLP and its leader, Prime Minister Holness. I think you might have heard whispers or perhaps even outright shouts describing the government as corrupt, even likening it to a band of pirates. But why such a strong language? What exactly is happening that's fueling these fiery accusations? Let us unpack this pirate metaphor because it's not just a catchy phrase. It's a powerful indictment of the current political climate. Imagine a pirate from the old tales, someone who operates outside the law, takes what they want and shows no remorse. Now picture that applied to a national leader. That's the essence of the criticism we are hearing. One of the most striking comparisons comes from a supporter whose sentiment is echoed by many. And this is what they say. Prime Minister Holness is being called the pirate of the Caribbean. This is not just hyperbole. It's rooted in specific behaviors that critics argue mirror the actions of a bacchanal. First, there is the accusation of an astonishing lack of shame and self-respect. The leader is described as having a BFS on a different level, as if they are completely unfazed by public scrutiny or the implications of their actions. This suggests an audacious and apologetic approach, much like a pirate who simply doesn't care about societal norms or legal repercussions. They just take. Then we hear about widespread exploitation and theft. Critics allege that the leader is taking everybody for a fool, implying a systemic siphoning of public resources for personal gain. This is not just about small-scale corruption, it's about a perceived grand-scale exploitation of the populace. And here is where it gets even more concerning. Some individuals, it's argued, turn a blind eye to this because they benefit from the millions of politicians that they thief left, right, and center. This directly links political actions to outright theft, with a segment of the population allegedly complicit in these points. But perhaps the most damning accusation and central to this pirate analogy is the alleged attempt to undermine the very rule of law. We are told that the leader is trying to declare a law specifically put in place to investigate illicit enrichment as unconstitutional. Think about that for a moment. This is not just sidestepping the law, it's an alleged attempt to dismantle the very legal mechanisms designed to curb corruption. What makes this even more egregious is that these were the same laws that were implemented by the government in the first place. This act of attempting to disarm the tools of accountability is chillingly similar to a pirate's complete disregard for establishment of law and order, operating beyond or actively subverting legal structures for their own benefit. It's corruption at its finest, and as one critic did put. And finally, there is the perception of self-serving governance. The accusation is that the country is being run like a family business, and that the leader wants to take it for a joke. This illustrates a pervasive belief that the public office is being used for personal familial enrichment and amusement rather than for the public good. It mirrors a pirate's acquisition of riches solely for themselves without any sense of accountability or responsibility to a wider community. So, in essence, the pirate metaphor encapsulates a political leader's extreme corruption, their perceived shamelessness, their blatant disregard for the rule of law, and their self-serving exploitation of natural resources and its institutions, treating them as personal spoils rather than a public trust. Okay. Now that I have debunked that, to explain why they call him the pirate, I want us to have this kind of thing. And let me ask you this question: like, what do other Jamaicans say about this alarming state of affairs? Are these isolated voices, or is there a wider sentiment brewing across the island? Stay tuned as we're about to watch some of the compelling clips that will shed more light on the public's perspective. After that, and I'll be back to discuss each of them in detail, providing further context and analysis. So please, don't go anywhere.
Jamaica is neither for the Jamaica Labour Party or the PNP. Jamaica is for the citizens. You need to know that. And you said that you're not going to surrender Jamaica to PNP. Listen, the people have rejected you and they have surrendered the opposing party. More people will follow Mark Golding. And somebody got a vision. Remember, leader of Jamaica, one of your own got a vision that you lost. Another person got a vision of your lost. So more and more people will be going to the opposing, but me tell no from 2020, you know. And the hungry belly labor rights keep lashing out and saying that me falls. And listen, God is gonna mock you all. Because in the back of your mind, psychologically, you believe that this man cannot lose. Listen, the way you are going to lose, it is going to send a strong message. Someone going ball. For years, some of you going ball. But I wish the Lord turn all of Jamaica against you. And that none of you win in your constituency because of the evil that you have brought to this land. So, Minister Mackenzie, you said that you own Jamaica. You don't own Jamaica. And Jamaica people and citizens are going to prove that to you. The hungry belly bloggers that are blogging for you, they are not blogging because of loyalty. They are blogging because of the money, their belly, because of what you have to pay them. You pay them on a monthly or on a weekly basis. I heard it's I can't remember what was the amount of money, but I heard that many of them, they are not loyal, and it's going to be proven. Leader of Jamaica, don't pay them any money and see what. And I said it, the hungry belly labor rights, don't pay them any money to vote for the next election, because some of them are talking about that they are die-hearted. They are not die-hearted. Just don't give them any money and see what. They usher you out. You will be ushered out.
Jamaica, I am extremely worried about what I hear the Prime Minister talk about, the next chapter of Jamaica. Now, I want Jamaicans to understand that the Jamaica Labour Party has been in government for 10 years. 10 years, 1 decade. And the Prime Minister says that his government is taking the country into the next chapter. Now, I want you to understand that when you have a book, the first chapter is always the basic chapter, and then you have the other chapters advance the first chapter. Now, when you look at this chapter, this 10 years chapter that the Jamaica Labour Party has been in government, we have seen Petrojam scandal. We have seen Andrew Wheatley resign from the Andrew Holness government. We have seen Ruel Reid scandal. We have seen where the government took the children's money and exploit it. We have seen the Market Me scandal, where the government gives contract to their special friends. We have seen deplorable hospitals in the last chapter. We have seen where people have been sleeping on ground. We have seen where people have been sleeping on benches in our hospitals in Jamaica. We have seen deplorable roads in Jamaica. We have seen in the last chapter where the Andrew Holness government controls the parliament in Jamaica. Right? We have seen where the government announced spark that has not started to spark. We have seen the government announce reach that seems to be lost. Now, Jamaica, we're in the last chapter. We have seen the illicit 6, and we still haven't seen them yet. We the only person we know who has been under investigation for illicit enrichment in this chapter, or the last chapter, is the Prime Minister himself. Now, in the last chapter, the Prime Minister's declaration has not been certified. No, Jamaica. Inflation has been high in the last chapter. You're telling me that you're telling Jamaica that we're going into the next chapter to do what? Now, the next chapter might wipe Jamaica off the map, and I'm extremely worried that that we have a potential government, Andrew Holness, who is going to take Jamaica into the next chapter. Jamaica, think about all the things that happened in the last chapter. No prosperity for the common man. In the last chapter, the Jamaica Labour Party increased their salary 300%, while doctors and nurses had to be protesting in the last chapter. Do you remember that? You remember how nurses and doctors had to protest? You remember the teachers are migrating in droves because of the treatment of the government in the last chapter? And you're telling me about the next chapter? Jamaica, it's time for a change of book. We don't need a next chapter of the Jamaica Labour Party. We need an overhaul of the book. We need somebody else who have a different vision and a different mindset to govern Jamaica. Because quite frankly, this next chapter might wipe us off the map, might embarrass us. I'm beseeching all Jamaicans. Think about what I'm saying. Because honestly, in my gut, I'm worried about the next chapter if Andrew Holness and the JLP is given a third term.
Good people, welcome back, and let me say this. Those clips were certainly eye-opening. One thing, the voices were just hard paint a vivid picture of a deeply frustrated populace expressing profound grievances regarding Jamaica's political leadership, particularly directed at the Jamaica Labour Party JLP and the specific figures like Mr. Mackenzie. He's one of the people in JLP. Let's break down the core criticisms that we had, because they resonate deeply with the pirate metaphor we discussed earlier. There is a fundamental belief expressed by citizens is that the current leadership acts as though they own Jamaica and its people. This is a very powerful sentiment, directly contradicting the idea that Jamaica is for the citizens. We've had explicit challenges like the retort to Mr. Mackenzie's assertion that, and I quote, "you own Jamaica." This is not just a political disagreement, it's a deeply held conviction that the nation belongs to its people, not any single political party, whether it's the JLP or the PNP. The idea that a government can simply lay claim to a nation and its resources, treating it as a personal property, is at the heart of this dissatisfaction. The clips also conveyed a strong perception that the people have rejected the current leadership. In fact, some feel they are surrendering to the opposing party with a clear surge of support to figures like McGoldrick. This rejection is not about a shift in voting patterns. It describes a powerful psychological message to the leadership who, according to critics, believe that this man cannot lose. This sense of popular rejection underscores the depth of discontent and the growing desire for a fundamental change in governance. Even more severely, there is the accusation that the leadership has brought evil to the land. This is a profound and a spiritual grievance, leading to a wish that the Lord turn all of Jamaica against you and that none of you win in your constituency because of the evil that you have brought to this land. That is a pastor who was talking about this. This is not just a political opposition. It's a moral condemnation, suggesting that the actions of the government have crossed a line into something far more detrimental than just a mere mismanagement. And then we heard about the highly criticized practice of paying individuals, specifically hungry belly bloggers and labor rights. Right? The labor rights, you know about them. Those people support them for their support and loyalty rather than earning genuine backing. The statement was unequivocal because these individuals are not blogging because of loyalty. They are blogging because of the money. They are barely because of what you have to pay them. This suggests a distinct lack of authentic public support and a reliance on paid influence rather than the genuine grassroots engagement. Okay, this implication is clear. If these payments were to stop, these individuals wouldn't hash you out and the leadership would be ushered out. This highlights a perceived transactional relationship with the supporters rather than the one built on trust and shared vision. So there are so many things beyond these grievances. The audio excerpt we had expressed profound concerns regarding the entire political landscape in Jamaica, specifically criticizing the Jamaican Labour Party's decade-long governance. The speaker outlined a sobering series of alleged scandals, government mismanagement, and societal issues that have plagued the country during the JLP's tenure, metaphorically referring to this period as the last chapter. So let's dissect these criticisms because they lay bare the alleged failures of the past decade. First, the litany of scandals and corruptions is extensive. The Petrojam scandal is cited as a major issue. The resignation of Andrew Whitley from the Andrew Holness government is mentioned. The Royal Reed scandal also occurred during their time. There are even accusations that the government exploited children's money, right? And I quote, market me scandal, where the government allegedly gave contracts to special friends, raises serious questions about favoritism. And then there are the concerns about the illicit six, with the unsettling detail that the only person known to be an investigation for illicit enrichment is the Prime Minister himself, whose declaration, as we've heard, has not been certified. This paints a picture of a government embroiled in a seemingly endless cycle of controversy and unanswered questions. Beyond corruption, there is a deplorable state of public service and infrastructure. Hospitals are described as being in such a dire condition, and that people are seen sleeping on the ground or even benches. Roads across Jamaica are said to be deplorable, and what about this promised project? Announcements of initiatives like Spark have apparently not even begun, while Reach seems to have vanished without a trace. This indicates a significant disconnect between promises and tangible improvements in the daily lives of the Jamaican citizens. So, good people, I think you've heard me talk about this and debunking everything. These different speakers talking about the last chapter, calling the Prime Minister a pirate of the Caribbean. So, I don't know if the GLP government or these GLP politicians will win another term, or make the GLP government to win a third term. I don't know, but you as a Jamaican, what's your take on this? Tell me in the comments. Like this video, share this video, turn on post notification. Most importantly, subscribe to this channel. Has been your boy for today, Sam. This is the last review. I hope to see you in my next video. Peace out.